Alright, so for the implication of this research, first, creating an environment that is safe from any sexual harassment regardless of gender, in addition to raising awareness about sexual harassment to the public by advertising infographics about the types of sexual harassment that have become normal nowadays. Second, emphasize the responsibility of leaders to enforce the law for those who commit sexual harassment of others, in addition to supporting every policy that has been set by the government in an effort to curb the symptoms of sexual harassment in society. Furthermore, this project will indirectly affect IIUM structure. More students will be aware of sexual harassment, and those who commit sexual harassment will be suspended and their studies terminated, so that they can all study calmly and peacefully without facing any sexual harassment from others, which will affect their emotions and lifestyles. Furthermore, all parties in the university, whether student union, rector or superiors, will take action on sexual harassment cases in this university. This is because our university is an Islamic university that reflects and carries the name of Islam and sets an example to others university. The study we have done above will be able to help the responsible parties to further strengthen the punishment for those who assaulted sexual harassment. That's all.
I know about the term sexual harassment and I have heard about the term on Twitter and I aware
To answer that question, it is just wise for me to say that I'm actually aware of this kind of problems because these past few years, a lot of cases in regard of sexual harassments have been happening within our society. So for that fact, yes, I'm actually know what is sexual harassment and that things is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, actually I know that even in Islamic institution there exists a case of sexual harassment. This has been proven by the latest cases that happened in our institution, IIUM, where our female students has been harassed by the transporter driver.
To answer that question, I actually aware that this kind of heinous crime actually also happen within the Islamic institutions. If I may give an example, even here in IIUM, I can say that things like sexual harassment also happening in daily basis because some things action like catcalling and even sexual harassment including transporter here actually exists, and that kind of things is so sad to know.
I think the main factor that makes a person vulnerable to sexual harassment is the predator who are unable to control their lust.
To answer that question, I think that the cause of this kind of things might include that when a male and a female students do something in a remote area. Because the thing is that when we do their works in such a secluded area, no one can see them, and this kind of condition and this kind of circumstances actually will increase their tendency of trying something new within themselves, including sexual harassment, and that's it, yes.
There are many solutions that we can do to solve or overcome this problem. The first one is our government can implement a strict law that gives a punishment to the wrongdoer, or our government can implement a syllabus that focuses on the sexual harassment or human dignity.
If I may give like some few examples in suggesting on how to combat with this kind of problems, I believe that implementing the IIUM Student Discipline Rule 2004 might be beneficial because in this rule it concludes about a segregation policies of different genders in their seating arrangements. So given the fact that the students cannot sit beside each other, it will somehow help to decrease these kind of problems because it will reduce their tendency into entering in a sexual conduct.
I do believe by achieving these sustainable development goals, it will reduce the cases of sexual harassment in our institution. The SDG that I mentioned is peace, justice, and strong institution. If we have this SDG, people don't even want to do this disgusting action because there are strict law that has been applied where it will punish the wrongdoer. Consequently, we can have a peace in our institution.
To answer that question, I strongly believe that by achieving the goals number 16 of Sustainable Development Goals is very beneficial, and it will help to prevent the sexual harassment because given the facts, when we actually achieve this kind of peace and tranquility states of a society, no people or shall no crime actually exist because we actually have achieved the understandings and the peace that we always desired all these times long. So these facts means that having peace also means no criminals, and yes, achieving these goals will actually help in combating the sexual harassment.